I was not certain what was going to happen in the next few hours, but this looked amazing. Join us as we embark on part of the 29-kilometer Camel Trail to explore Cornwall's impressive countryside. It was a mid-morning hike and we set off from Dunmere car park. There is free parking and I was ecstatic when money doesn't have to relocate from my wallet. This is an added incentive for one to get out and explore the neighborhood. Today's trek was from Dunmere car park to Padstow, which is approximately 17 kilometers. The entire trail is approximately 29 kilometers and it's advisable to do it in smaller chunks depending on your level of fitness and of course if you have surplus time. This is a famous trail for cyclists, however it welcomes dog walkers, runners, hikers, ramblers, horse riders, wheelchair users and anyone else who would like to spend time outdoors. First impressions, I loved it. I looked like a fox in a hen house. The serene woodland atmosphere lit by the precious light which had managed to filter through the thick dense canopies of the forest. I noticed that an old track used to exist along this part of the world and some of the old fixtures were still in eyesight. In all honesty, I was apprehensive that this was going to be a long trek. I didn't let folks know how long the trek was going to be. My take was, we'll carry on as long as we can, then throw the towel in when we can't go any further. It was such a peaceful place and very safe. People were able to leave their bikes unattended to in the middle of nowhere without any fear of losing a wheel or a saddle. The thick, glistening, lush green moss caught our attention. It covered old tree planks by the side of the trail, providing needed shelter for the small woodland creatures. We came across our first restaurant, but it was too early to stop. It was not meant to be a food tour. It was tempting though. Why not have a Cornish pastry in Cornwall? Cornish pastries originated from Cornwall and this can be traced back as far as the 1200s. Mining was once a thriving industry in Cornwall and at that time pastries were baked by the wives and mothers of the teen miners. As we edged deeper in the trail, we were hit by the pomp of the forest. It was undeniably charming. The various shades of green were aesthetically appealing. From now on, we agreed we are going to put some hours in on this paved trail and embrace what comes our way. Nearby horses were minding their business, which we briefly interrupted by stopping to admire them. We walked away from the main trail to explore what lay beneath the thick vegetation. To our surprise, River Camel was nearer than we thought. There are multiple water bodies in the vicinity which added a sense of calmness. Sweeping views of the surrounding countryside give us a broader perspective of Cornwall's landscape. The air was fresh and the silence was profound, only broken by the rustling of the leaves and chirping birds. For a moment we stopped and enjoyed what the forest had to offer. The peaceful, calm and untroubled environment was priceless. This was intermittently interrupted by cyclists who were whizzing past. Everyone kept in their lane, as there was ample room and clear signage to provide way to other users. We were due some luck. The sun had evaded us for a while. For this stretch of the trail, we were honored by a few seconds of our warmth and flair. It definitely brightened up our morning. The trail is largely flat, follows the former rail line, rich in history with old station signs and bridges. We intermittently stopped to soak in the rich heritage of the trail. River Camel in a far-off distance was never too far from us. It rises from the edge of the Bodmin Moor and it flows into the eastern Celtic Sea. It covers 50 kilometers and is known for fishing, bird watching and sailing. The joys of experiencing nature's fleeting moments. As we came into Wedbridge town, the rain came in with us. We were not going to be forced to backtrack or retreat to the car. Besides, the distance back was the same distance forward. The only option was going forward. Rain was thrown at us, the sun showed up for a few seconds, winds were blowing hard, and we kept going. The weather was fairly unpredictable, however, we were ready to take it on. Wedbridge town did not hold our interest, and we did not hang around for too long. Its charm had been wiped away by the recent downpour and the absence of the sun. We found ourselves back on the Camel Trail, this time heading to Padstow. As you move towards Padstow, the views become incredibly spectacular once again. River Camel had crossed to our right. Camel Trail originated as a section of the Bodmin and Wedbridge Railway, one of Britain's earliest railways. It was first commissioned in 1831 to transport lime-rich sand for fertilizers. The trail passes through an old slate quarry with spoiled heaps of the slate on either side. The quarry was in use in the 16th century mining slate. A welcome break at the Atlantic Coast Express, which is a converted vintage train carriage. It serves food and hot drinks to anyone stopping at the halfway point between Wedbridge and Padstow. Whether arriving by boat, foot, bike, or horse, visitors look forward to stopping to have a piece of their delicious cakes, freshly brewed coffee, or crepes. I decided to wander around to the bar to get close to River Camel. We stopped to indulge in some of our guilty pleasures. The flapjack and cappuccino were second to none. We took a moment and took stock of the day. All powered up and charged, we tackled the remaining trail. The trail is an all-season trail with different views to offer during the various months of the year. Certainly the summer months will be preferred as one enjoys the lovely countryside. Camel estuary was absolutely delightful. We can certainly enjoy it on foot or by bike, similar to how tourists enjoyed it by rail back in the day. It is a playground for those water skiing, canoeing, and a few premium big boats are seen on the water. The trail is used by approximately 350,000 people per year, and it is jointly managed by Cornwall Council and the Camel Trail Partnership. Wildflowers along the trail were an amazing and beautiful distraction from the trail. Stopping and acknowledging their beauty helped us connect with nature. The trail was a bike lover's paradise. Multiple places to hire bikes are available at most of the towns along the trail. They offer tandems, child trailers and normal bikes for all age groups. The fees are reasonable and some of the proceeds go towards the trail maintenance. The Camel Trail is part of the National Cycle Network. Through the 19th century, Padstock's lack of a land connection had prevented it from distant markets. Little Pathery Creek Bridge connected the historic fishing town and harbour of Padstock to the rest of the rail network, that is, Wedbridge and Bodmin. The rail connection was made on the 23rd of March 1899 and eventually closed on the 30th of January 1967. The surviving track bed forms part of the Camel Trail. We were thrilled we had made it this far and could not wait to see the end of the trail, sit down and have a rest. We were literally looking for the Padstock town sign. The town unveiled itself as a small, irresistible seaside town with plenty of character. Multiple eateries which included a few celebrity restaurants, museums, bike shops and a lot of independent shops. The variety was awesome. Camel Trail gave us the Cornwall experience we were yearning for. Certainly, we'll do it again at the drop of the hat. I hope you've enjoyed this trek as we have. If you have, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Till next time.